Hi, today we're going to be making this tall, thin notebook. It's really nice to put in your purse. Be great for grocery list or whatever kind of list that you have. It's made from chipboard and it's made from just regular computer paper, typing paper, and a little Velcro closure. So, welcome to my channel. I'm Debbie Polishek and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start off with 10 sheets of computer paper. I'm going to cut 5 at a time, and I'm going to cut on the 11-inch side. I'm going to cut them at 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches wide. So I'm going to continue cutting it all the way across the paper as far as I can get. I think at least about a 1-inch strip on the other end. So we're going to be doing this 2 times with 5 pieces of paper. The more even I can get it, the better off it is, because it stacks together better when I get to this point. So here we have all those sheets, and this makes about a 1/4 inch of a stack of paper. Now I'm going to take my little clips and I'm going to put them about a 1/2 inch away from the top of the stack, right there. And I'm going to put some on the bottom too, just to hold it stable. Be sure it'd be stable. Then I'll take my multi-purpose glue with the broad end and glue that pretty heavily all across the top, rubbing it in pretty good, because it needs to go hit every one of those papers I just stacked together. Then I'll take a piece of paper towel and just kind of wipe off the edges, so when I sit it down and dry, it won't stick to the table. Now I'll be doing this, let this dry for about 20 minutes or so, and then coming back and then doing it again. So you'll be doing 2 coats of that glue. Next I'm going to be cutting the chipboard. Okay, the chipboard needs to be a 1/4 inch wider than the tablet that I just cut, and a 1/4 inch longer than tablet I cut. So since the pad is 2.5 by 8.5, I need the chipboard to be 8 3/4 by 2 3/4. So we'll need to cut 2 of those. Okay, here you see me cutting the spine of the chipboard for the chipboard. Since the pad is a 1/4 inch deep, you know, with that many papers, you need the spine to be a 1/4 inch wide. So it's 8 3/4 by 1/4 inch. And here I'm just cutting a piece of chipboard. The chipboard, just cutting it off for scraps. Not cutting off a piece of scrap to use later to do some measuring, and I'll show you where and when in just a little bit. Okay, next I'm trying to decide what type of paper I want to use, and I decided to turn it that way so I could use the lines of the paper as a straight edge. Otherwise you can just mark about 1 inch off. You're going to need 1 inch all the way around the outside of this chipboard. And I'll be using 2 of those strips of chipboard that I cut for scraps to use as spacers in between the spine and the front and the back. What is it, Daddy?
Oh, nothing. God, just laughing at myself.
Laughing at me?
Mm?
You laughing at me?
Huh?
Are you laughing at me? Is that what you're saying?
Myself. Did you hear that? Did you hear the last word? Myself? Laughing at myself?
Yeah. Okay, what are you laughing at yourself about?
Oh, I don't know. I ain't got any words to talk about.
What'd you do?
What? I didn't do anything.
Oh.
What somebody else was doing.
What were they doing? The kitty cat?
Oh, I don't know. No, there wasn't no cats. This was a full-grown human.
Like me?
Yeah, like a woman.
Okay, what did you laughing at?
Not a woman, a girl, 20-some-odd-year-old girl.
Oh, another girl.
Young girl.
At the store then?
At the store, yeah.
Okay, what did she do?
I got because I was getting some cereal.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed she was looking at me, but she was, you know, at the other end of the down her way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ain't know about it. I went down there and I stopped at the other end where she was, and I kind of looked to the right. She was looking at me again.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Oh, I don't know. This is, you know, this ain't nothing." And then I went to check out, and she was at the other counter over there looking at me again. I said, "Damn." She was interested in me.
She was.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's just, you know, that's just something I think. I don't know if any of it's, you know.
Yeah.
It just could be coincidence, and there's coincidences that happen like that.
Maybe she thought she knew you. Or it could be she thought she knew you too.
Well, she could have thought that.
Or she could have been interested.
Yeah.
But she could have been interested.
I counted that.
20-something years old.
I counted that.
She's that. Kind of doubt it.
Yeah. No, I can't see nothing to be interested about. I really can't.
Mm-mm.
Oh well. Back to the work. So here I'm going to cut about an inch all the way around the chipboard I just glued down. I was surprised that I could cut this with the cutter because neither way that the cutter was able to put that plastic all the way down, but I was able to cut it with it, even though it wasn't. That little cutter on there is pretty long, I guess, so it still reached it. Okay, and as you noticed, I did use 2 pieces of paper in between each of one of those the panels and the spine. Here I'm only using 1 piece of chipboard to measure. This is my cut line that I'm going to be cutting the corners in just a minute, so I need 1 piece of chipboard left on that end of each corner. So see, there's a little bit of gap left at the end of each corner. Okay. Now I'm going to use, I'm just kind of starting to bend the edges back. I think I already did there's the spine. I'm bending the spine, kind of get it all loosened up, all the paper loosened up. Okay. Next I'm using my tearing tape all around the edges, getting it close to the end as I can, around all 4 sides. Okay, I'll be taking my bone folder next and making sure it's all stuck real well. Then take my take your pick, and can't believe I really finally remember the name of that tool, and pull off the backs of all that tape. Then also I'm going to take that multi-purpose glue and put it along that inside of that where I didn't tape. Okay, now I'm going to start on both ends and gluing that down real good. Using my bone folder to get it all in there real good. Now I'm taking that little bit of paper that I have left away from there, that 1 piece of chipboard thickness away from there, and bending that back into the thing. Now I'll go ahead and turn the other 2. For the inside, I'm going to cut a piece of very vanilla cardstock, 8 1/2 by 5 3/4, and I'm glue it down in a little bit. But first of all, also I'm going to be cutting up another piece of scrap, 4 by 3. That's what I'm cutting right now, and I'm going to score on the 3-inch side 1 inch apart, so that's going to make 2 folds. I'm stiffen up that piece of paper to make it a flap for the closure. I'm going to check it and make sure that it's all folds in okay without any hang-ups on that corner, and it did fine. If it did, I would have just trimmed it off a little bit. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure that it's real tight. Put some glue on the inside. And again on that side. Okay, I'm using one of the Velcro dots, and go ahead and, first I'm softening up the fibers of the paper so it'll go around the little pad easily. I'm taking the quarter rounder and rounding off both those points. I'm going to glue the fuzzy side of the Velcro dot to the closure. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I thought, well, it sounds like a good spot for it for me. Then I'll use that little tighter part on the other. Now I'm going to show you a little trick that's a carpenter trick. Your measurement is kind of hard to figure out in your head. If you take it and measure it to the, like right now, it was 8 3/4, but I measured to it hit to be 9 on that other end there, and then right at 4 1/2, I did the mark, and that's your halfway point. So here is where I'm going to be gluing the closure to the back side, inside, back side, using quite a bit of glue. It's probably been better off if I'd let it dry for a little while before I messed with it, but anyway, I'm going to use, again, quite a bit of glue because I don't want this to come up. Quite a bit of glue all around the edges and on the inside of the cardstock as well. I would love to give away some of those Velcro dots to anybody that places an order of $50 or more. Just let me know by text message me through my website that you would like to have some of the Velcro dots, and remind me that you'd like to have a catalog too. I'll send you whatever catalog is in for the season whenever you place your order. Okay, now I'm taking again, making the score lines a little bit better for where the spine is at, so it'll fold over easy. I'm cutting off a piece of paper the width of the pad, which is 2 1/2 inches. Here you're going to see me gluing the front and the back, the side, the top, and then the front again. But I'm going to throw a picture in just a little bit of that, the way it ended. I showed it gluing it here, but after I started using the pad, I noticed as soon as you pull out that first sheet of paper, that little tab flops up right along with it, so it didn't really do much good to put that down there. You'd almost have to staple it underneath there and make it a permanent part, and I didn't have a stapler that I think could have held all that good. And here I'm gluing the whole thing down. But like I said, I'll show you a picture how I cut that off level in just a bit, and it still looked nice. Here I'm using sticking the other end where it belongs on the Velcro, and then I'll stick a little bit more glue again around the outside edge of that Velcro. Then put a little dot, a little block on top of it to kind of weigh it down. I sure thank you for stopping by, and I hope to be seeing you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do 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 do.